2024. China, the FISE is back.
I'm the star of the show in the regiment. Can't stop me, bro. Ain't no pedaling, ain't no riding the wave. Staring right in the face, you know that I'm getting it. This ain't back in the days. Get ready for
Are you ready to meet your riders?
It all comes down to this moment. Real question right now, who is on top?
What's up, FISE family? Welcome back to the FISE World Series. We're still here in China, in the beautiful metropolis of Shanghai. We're getting ready for today's final event, the Skateboarding Street Pro Men's Final here on the west bank of the Huangpu River, here on the West Bund side. My name is MC Egon, and I'm being joined today by the most beautiful man from the Czech Republic, Thomas Winter.
Hey, what's up, my friend?
Back in the studio after Montpellier. Thomas, it's great seeing you back here.
Yeah, I'm really stoked to be back in China. I think all of us are stoked to be back in Shanghai. It's just beautiful to be here after a couple of years. So I can't wait for this finals to kick off. Look at the skate park. It's just beautiful. The settings is beautiful. It's a great day to be here, my man.
Another beautiful creation by the mastermind of Hurricane Parks, by Pascal Mojas. Now, this park has been used for both the scooter competitions and the skateboarding competitions. We're gonna wrap up today with this men's final in a couple of minutes. And as you can see, the park is completely dry.
Yep, well, we got lucky. It was raining all of yesterday and then mostly all of the morning today. So now we're back in here. But look at the beauty of the skate park. Well, I specifically like the Chinese features that they brought in. The chopsticks are one of my favorite obstacles that I've ever seen in a skate park.
Also the traditional bridge,
yeah,
as we can see.
You can see these bridges literally everywhere, all over Shanghai, over the little rivers. Look at the big five we have with the mellow rails. That's actually a 10-stair size rail. We have an A-frame hubba, the bank-to-bank ledge. Then we have a couple little rails. We have long driveways, shorter bank-to-banks, and a lot of quarter pipes. So there's something for every skater to choose from, which is pretty rare these days. The skate parks are built towards one type of a park, but we have everything in here. That's why we can cater for two sports.
It looks bigger and burlier than the one that we had in Montpellier.
It is. I skated yesterday with all of the guys, and I had a lot of fun. Let me tell you that there's literally something, like I said, for everyone to choose from. And look at the crowd we have. I'm really stoked about the turnout here.
The place is packed for the top 8 riders that have made it into this final here at FISE World Series in Shanghai.
We're going to be starting in just a couple of minutes. The riders are getting the last minutes of practice in, but let's get to the competition format. So we have one heat of 8 riders. Every one of the riders is going to get 2 rounds of 50 seconds. The best round is going to count. And then we're going to get 5 trick attempts, which is called the best tricks, out of which 2 are going to count. So we call this format a 5-3-2. So it's 2 rounds, 5 tricks, and then 3 of your scores count. I hope that makes sense. Basically, we're taking 1 of your best rounds and 2 of your best tricks. That makes your whole score.
Okay, because I remember back in Montpellier, we had some really good riders like Matias Elolio in, let's say, the runs.
Yeah.
But then I think one of the riders missed every best trick attempt as well.
That can happen. It just, sometimes people struggle. But let's get to the judging criteria. So there's a couple things that you have to take into account, which is difficulty, as you see, variety of performed tricks, quality of execution, use of the course, and use of individual obstacles. Obviously, it is the flow and consistency as well. So these judges basically take everything together, make it a full package, and that's how they judge your run. So you guys understand it has to have a bit of everything, so the judges can say, okay, well, this guy was a little better than the other one based on everything together.
Have you judged before?
I have judged. Yeah, I have judged a few events, and usually I'm a big opponent to the judges because I strongly disagree sometimes, not here, but in general. So skateboarding is a very opinionated sport, I would say. So there's gonna be 1,000 people and they're gonna have 1,000 opinions. But we do have really good judges. One of the judges up there is Danny Wainwright. We're gonna see the names just in a little bit, and he's been a friend of mine for probably 25 years. And if there is someone in the world that understands skateboarding, he's one of those guys. So we can hopefully count on our judges to have the scores right today. Let's look at a couple replays from yesterday. There's gonna be a couple slams too, just get ready. And as you see, we ran the event all the way up until the evening yesterday. It was already getting dark, but these guys were just throwing down now, especially in the last heat. Most of the people from the last heat qualified. And it was Willem Jakesh, Riso Turi, Benji Garcia, Daniel Knudsen, and Joseph Garbaccio. So I would say everyone from the last heat made it into the top 8 today.
Okay, only the best of the best can make it to the
Best
finals.
of the best, yeah. We got some Olympians on the starting list today. So we have Riso Turi, who finished 5th in the Olympics, and Joseph Garbaccio, who finished 8th in the Olympics. So we got 2 actual, not only Olympians, but Olympic finalists in this event.
Olympic, wait, I think it's, they have an Olympic diploma. I think top 8 in each sport gets an Olympic diploma.
And then they have this, it's behind their name, it's like a suffix. It's a OLY, so they can use that on all their documents now. It's pretty cool. So this is our judging panel. If you see, it's Susan Riekers, she's from Holland. Then Danny Wainwright from the UK, currently living in China and training the Chinese skateboard team. And Liu Daniel is BBL, a Chinese photographer. And he owns a magazine in China. He's been a skateboarder for a long time.
Okay, we're gonna check out what's going on the course right now. Let's listen to the MC.
Our first skater of our top 8 finalists, Jake Velm from France. Second skater, our second skater, Benjamin Garcia from France. All right, next.
Bit of a slip up on the names, apparently.
Yeah, we're currently looking at Willem Jakesh.
Third skater up is Joseph Garbaccio. Yeah, wave to the crowd. They love it. Everybody's loving it.
We need to see the check
Daniel
flag for Willem.
Knudsen, represent Norway. Pan Jiajie.
Quick look at Benji Garcia. A French ripper. He's been around for more than 20 years.
All right, Benjamin Garcia. Loving that screen time. Next up, Joseph Garbaccio from France. Oh, he's making a call. Who's he calling?
He's calling back to France.
Loving it.
Are you guys watching?
Crowd is loving it. He doesn't have any signal over here right now, though. All right, next up, Daniel Knudsen, representing Norway.
Daniel's been in
All right, next
Montpellier
up,
this year,
Pan
so we have a
Jiajie
finalist from FISE Montpellier.
Wow.
One of the
Hometown hero,
Chinese
loving
best
it.
skaters, PJ. Pan Jiajie.
Next up, Richard Turi from
Riso
Slovakia.
Another Olympic finalist, 5th place
Next
from
up,
Paris 2024.
田嘉欣代表中国。
And then 2 of the best qualifying
All right,
riders,
last one
Tian
on
Jianqing
deck.
from
我们昨
China.
天预赛的第1名高群翔代表中国，我们掌声送给他。All right, kicking it off.
Man, this guy is a ripper. He killed it yesterday. So last person was Gao Jingxiang. He skated really well yesterday. I was really surprised.
So if you're just tuning in, we're still here in Shanghai for the FISE World Series. And we're gonna kick off the Skateboarding Street Pro competition. 8 of the best skateboarders made their way over to China here in Shanghai and competed in qualifications in semifinals. But
Yeah,
now it's down to the final battle. Who's gonna be on top?
You got any favorites?
I mean, I remember Daniel riding in Montpellier.
Well, he's good.
I know Joseph Garbaccio, like he's a very let's say media-genic, let's say skateboarder from France.
He fucking rips, man. Trust me, he rips.
I think he's on Decathlon.
Yes,
as well.
sir. That's why he had that shoe in his hand. That's his Decathlon shoe. I believe Decathlon is one of the major sponsors here, right?
True. Also one of the biggest sports warehouses, I think even worldwide.
Very true. I see them in like all over the place wherever I go. Well, I'm just gonna say Rizzo and Joseph probably are the biggest favorites here because they're coming from the Olympics and takes a lot of skills to even make it into the Olympics. So I'm just gonna say these guys will probably be the favorites to call for the podium, but anything can happen. All of these guys are really experienced and skilled, so like I say, anything can happen, you know.
I mean, what we saw in Montpellier was, you know, riders acing the runs and then completely butchering
The
best
level
trick
in
attempts.
Montpellier was crazy. It's just beautiful to watch. I love to see the progress in skateboarding. What we went through in the last 5 to 7 years is just ridiculous. I just can't even comprehend how many new tricks are being, not invented necessarily, but being put together in a way that you can actually throw them in a contest. Just makes absolutely no sense. From a perspective of a person that competed 5 or 10, whatever years ago, it's just the stuff that you were trying to learn for a month, these people are doing like every try to be able to do them in a contest.
And it's not only, you know, practice and training, it also comes down to, let's say, the more athletic lifestyle,
Yep.
like, let's say, food, sleep.
Yeah, you definitely have to put in a lot of more work.
It's
than
about
before.
the marginal gains, let's say.
Yeah. It's just the little things now make a lot of difference. While before, skate, like you could do all of the street skating and still hit the contests around like whatever you were doing, but these days you have to focus on one thing. Like you either go the competitive way. I mean, people still do both, don't get me wrong, but it's just if you want to do this and you want to do it right, you have to put in work, like serious amount of work. And I see it like all of these skaters, like they're still living a really freestyle life, which is great, and I hope skateboarding keeps that. But they're now going to the gym, they're eating healthy. Just like you said, like these people actually have to be on the top of their game. So that is the biggest difference, I would say, like in skateboarding, the professionalization of that. We should be starting in a couple of minutes. We're just looking at the park. I'd be curious to see what people think is the best looking obstacle, and I'd say 90% are gonna say the bridge. Right? It's just like beautifully looking out there. I hope someone hits it in the finals.
Also, a lot of riders getting some last practice minutes on the big stair set on the rail.
We're getting a good crowd out there now. It's completely packed, and I saw a line like past that wall of the quarter pipe. There's a line that's long all the way to that building that's being built. There's a line, so they're not even letting other people in. So this is just one side of the park. You guys gonna see on the other side, we have the VIP bleachers and just general audience bleachers. But this is the standing side of the course. Hey, hello, friends. How are you?
But the good thing is we still have all the LED screens around here at the venue as well, so people can watch from wherever they're standing here on the West Bund. But the best seats in the house is in front of the skate park.
100%. How do you like the setting on the West Bund? Like, what do you think about the location of the venue?
It's wild. I actually did a little history lesson on this West Bund site.
Brief me in, brother.
So up until 1966, this whole site used to be an airport.
Airport?
An airport. So the tanks that you see, like just like up north from our TV booth, those were the tanks where they stored the jet fuel in.
What?
And just like 2 streets from here, there's actually Runway Park, where they still have like certain pieces of the original, let's say.
I saw that. I thought that was a subway line that's above ground.
No. So it's actually a park, and they've kept some pieces of tarmac, you know, like as in remembrance of the long gone Longhua Airport now.
I had no idea. Like, this is really cool. I mean, I've been coming to Shanghai for 20 years now, and this whole area was sort of forgotten, per se. But now they're just building everything new, like all these skyscrapers and everything. I really like it.
The whole city is ever changing.
Oh, all the time.
My girlfriend's here as well, and she had this little tourism book on Shanghai from, I think, 2017 or 2018. And she wanted to do a walk in like a certain district. And when she got there, the stuff she wanted to visit was actually gone, and there was going to be a new high-rise technology center.
That sounds like Shanghai, basically China.
Yeah, and also talking about that technology. So it used to be an airport, and now they're like upscaling this whole neighborhood. So actually, what we can see from here is the Tencent building, the Alibaba offices.
Yes, sir, I
There's
saw those.
financial tech, medical tech, e-commerce, startups. I mean, it's all happening in the West Bund.
I feel like this is gonna be the new trendy spot to go in Shanghai. Like, no, it's already happening. Like, I saw the food markets here,
Yeah.
the promenade. It's just beautiful.
The whole
Let me
mall.
tell you, if you guys ever come to Shanghai, West Bund is the place to go.
Also, it's a dog-friendly mall.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like I arrived here on Sunday and immediately came over to beat the jet lag. And what I noticed is like a lot of people were walking their dogs here, like dressed in all these cute little outfits. And then someone from the crew told me like this is the only place where you can go and take your dog shopping as well.
Okay, well, I wonder what they buy for the dogs, but seeing the dogs, they're pretty pimped up. So they buy a lot of stuff for them. Let's get back to the skate park. We got Willem on the top of the ramp, still rocking the French flag. He's from the Czech Republic, just so you guys know. Willem coming from Poleshovice, probably his entire crew watching. He's in the park. 50 seconds on the clock. Kickflip up the bank. Willem is skating a little hurt today. He hit his hip yesterday. Ollie into the bank. And a crooked grind across, so hopefully his hip is okay. He's skating on painkillers today. And the frontside nose grind or over crooks on the down rail. We got 28 seconds to go, halfway through his round, and a back tail. So far, so good.
Already looking pretty solid.
I mean, yes, kickflip from board down the big rail. And the good thing for Willem qualifying 8th is that he can only do better. He cannot do any worse. And a front feeble down, 6 seconds on the clock. And a frontside blunt slide. Little kick. Look at him. Like, yeah, he's definitely in pain. But he did what he needed to do. That was a really good round. And for you guys to understand is one important thing. The first round of the day is always very important for the judges to set their scale. So based on Willem's performance now, every one of the judges can come together and say this is how we're going to be judging. So whatever score they give Willem, the rest of the starting field is basically going to be compared to Willem's skating. Was it worse? Was it better? Was it similar? And then now little nuances come into place, which is how many times did he flip his board? How many tricks he landed? It's just like the little things, but the base of the score is being set as we speak. So whatever score we're gonna see, that's how you can relate to the rest of the scoring.
That will be the reference for the 7 other riders.
Yes, sir. We're waiting for the scores to come in, and that's a 42.05. That's yesterday I saw the scale. I think the judges are scoring on a 50% scale, so this would translate to 84-ish.
Okay, yeah.
I think if it is like yesterday, we'll see. Next rider up, the OG on the skateboard scene, Benjamin Garcia, another skater that skates for Decathlon.
The man from Bordeaux.
Coming from Bordeaux. I spoke to him about the city yesterday. He loves it. He loves living there. Benji's in front Smith down the big rail, and the frontside nose blunt down the small rail to follow up. It usually takes 10 seconds to get across the park. And as you see, a front tail. Benji knows what needs to be done. And a front blunt, that is a steep quarter pipe. Really, really steep. Oh, missing an ollie crooks. That is a go-to for this guy. Come on, Benji, you got the rest. No worries. No rush, no worries. Just lend the rest. Still 15 seconds to go. Plenty of time. Tray flip up the Euro gap. And now ollie in. We're coming down to the last seconds. With a big back 3 all the way to flat. Not coming together this time.
Going all in on that first run for Benjamin.
I mean, he needed to take it all the way to flat, fatty to flatty, you know? It's just like you miss one trick, you want to make it up for it. Benji definitely gonna try to improve his round in the second rounds.
Each rider getting 2 runs.
Better run count, so at least you can try twice. You don't have to stick to the score. Beautiful slow motion of the frontside nose blunt. Tray flip. That is my very favorite trick. Up and Euro gaps. I was
Up
skating
the
that
Euro.
Euro gap yesterday and doing tray flips, and it's a big one. It is a long Euro gap.
Oh.
Just slipping out last second. It was perfect execution. It's just like that little thing at the end. Okay.
33.35.
Still a decent score. You can still catch up in the best tricks. So it's just, you got to remember, it's just 1/3 of your entire score. So it doesn't make up majority of your score. It's just literally 1/3.
Imagine if he would have landed.
Oh, it'd be a nice score, yup. Still gonna say Willem flipped his board into a trick, so it's still probably be a little higher than Benji, even if he
Second
landed his
lead.
truck. So technically speaking, but anything can happen. Like, we're not there, so the judges see better than we do, but technically speaking, it'd be somewhere around the 40. But third rider up, we got Joseph Carpaccio. Coming from Le Havre. Did I say it right?
Le Havre, ouais.
Either way, it is in France, and he's starting it off with a frontside nose blunt down the big rail. Frontside alley-oop in the quarter pipes, coming for a tray flip across, beautifully done. Look at that back foot, like front foot catch, back foot's like still out of the boards. That's a good way to do a tray flip.
Perfect way to stick that landing.
Making a lot of speed with a big frontside air.
That's a huge transfer. Not a lot of skaters doing that.
Yes, sir. Ah, missing an ollie flip and his hat flying off. I think it's really windy out there. Look at his t-shirt.
Yeah, it is.
Joseph is like, what is happening here with that wind? And then he's like, stop the wind. Someone tell the wind to stop blowing.
I mean, today we have to pick our poison. Either way,
Yeah.
it's going to be rain
I mean,
or
it's-
wind.
It is the same conditions for everyone. I'm never a fan of saying that, because when it blows wind, it blows for one person but not for the other. But it could have been the other person, so you can't really blame the wind. It's just, it's always better to have the like contests indoors, because then the conditions are literally the same for everyone. It is what it is. Like, we're here, it's the autumn in Shanghai, you know? Beautiful nose blunt.
Started that run. I think here he's setting up for that big transfer.
I really like his skating. Look at the height of that trick.
Even
He's
grabbing the
clean.
board as well.
Yeah, he's clean on his board.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been coming to FISE for what, 15 years maybe, since he was a little kid? His brother used to manage FISE too. It's just, catch getting away from him.
Well, still, he has a second run.
Yeah, he's got a second round to make it up for that. Still, 34. That's a decent score.
I mean, I'm definitely impressed with the tray flip on the back-to-bank.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially the gap. I mean, that is a 2-meter wide gap.
I think he's the only one who can get that from this field for sure, because the rest of the guys is just pure street skaters. He's a street skater too, but he's good at quarter pipes.
But he's using the transition that he's applying as well.
Just differentiates himself.
And here we have Daniel Knudsen from Norway.
Daniel in, first time in China ever, never been here before. He
Exciting.
said he's really stoked to be in here. Kick flip across, and he's gonna hit the down rail with a frontside nose blunt slide. And we're almost halfway through his round. So far, so good. Impossible getting away from him. Yeah, you can see the wind gusts for sure on his t-shirt too. Ollie into the bank, setting up for the kick flip to flat.
Keeps it going.
A little back Smith on that rail. I say little, but those rails are not little. They're pretty tall. 8 seconds. Frontside nose grind. Standing on. And 3, 2, 1. That is going to be time right there for Daniel.
Oh, he was locked in.
Yeah, he was going all the way. Across and down. I want to see the scores because he only had one bail, but the tricks were slower and on smaller obstacles. So I want to see how that plays out. Like, he had a better round in terms of the bails, but a worse round in terms of the difficulty of the tricks on the big obstacles.
You know, Thomas, this was his first run. Might have been the safer choices.
It definitely is. He's really good. Watch him do it in the second round, hopefully. What we want is everyone to have perfect rounds. So then these guys can just throw down in the best tricks. Nice and balanced for the frontside nose grind. Slow-mo right there, waiting for the scores. 28, 21. So now, you know what we know now? They want bigger tricks. This is what it says, you know?
More technicality,
Yes.
bigger, burlier.
More than anything, everything, like I said, everything comes into account, but something is always more important. So based on these scores that you guys see now, my impression is that these guys just want to see a bigger trick than more mediocre tricks. So next rider up, Jia Pan, PJ, coming from China, a participant in the World Skate World Championships, in Rome just a couple weeks ago.
Bit of a crash here. Happened quite early in his run. Still has 40 seconds.
We're just starting it big with a kickflip front board. That is a big trick. Look at the size of the rail. That rail is no joke. And he's probably gonna call it or maybe do one.
I mean, that is a
For
high
the audience.
That's a high stakes.
I mean, people want to see it, PJ. Let's go. Just do it. He doesn't have to try anything else. He just should do the kickflip. He just stick to it, man. You know, just do it. Do it for the people. Oh, okay, he went for the big tray flip all the way to flat. Still with a smile on his face. That's what we like to see in skateboarding. All these guys are in there to have some good times.
This is also the last day of competition for you guys?
We have the battle tomorrow. That one's gonna be fun.
The battle?
Yes, there's a battle. Like
What?
these guys are gonna go head to head in like a head to head format, just like tennis tournaments. So they're just gonna have another battle. It's the finalists are having a battle tomorrow, which is a completely new contest where they go head to head all the way to the top.
And that's happening on this park as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Tomorrow afternoon. This is the finals, though. This is the finals
Okay.
of the International Pro event. But then that one tomorrow is a whole new format that I'm really excited about. But speaking about excitement, we got our boy, Riso Toure. I traveled the world with this guy. I coach Riso. We're really good friends. This is like my little brother skating now. So
Already had quite the year.
let's see.
Fifth at the Olympics, sixth at the World Championships.
Sir. There we go. A heel flip backside board side on the big rail to start it off. Hopefully wind gusts stay away. Kick flip up. Okay. There we go. So far so good too for Riso. Crooked grind into the banks, setting up for a kick flip to backside 50-50 on the A-frame. Okay, what a save.
And we're halfway that first round of Richard
Okay,
Toure.
okay, stay on the board, my man. A frontside nose grind on the down rail. 18 seconds on the clock.
Readjusting his cap
Yep.
as he goes.
Coming for the big rail once again. The only person to hit it twice in his round. And the last trick. Oh! How did he stay on? A big spin board slide. And 1 second. And that's going to be time with the nose block on the down rail. Wow, okay.
Thomas, for the people at home that have no concept of what skateboarding is, what just happened? What was that last trick combination?
Dude, the big spin board slide, he can do the trick really well. I can't. But the thing is, if we're gonna see, look at his face.
We have to see that in slow-mo, and you have to take us through all the moves that were
There was
happening.
too much happening at the same time, so I can't really tell, but I think he landed on his heel. Like, literally on his... he was like on his toes. Watch it. That's not even the trick we're talking about, but look. His foot comes off the board, but still perfect landing though, so there's no deduction for that. Then this is the frontside over crooks on the down rail, but hopefully this is what it's coming to. Let's watch it. Oh, he was fully on his heel, but made it count when it mattered the most.
Holding on
That's
for
definitely
dear
the
life.
highest score. Well, it's not a... Okay, so it cannot be double, because then we're at 130. So, okay, well, that's a big lead. Riso is taking more than 20-point lead over Villan, who's currently sitting in second. Wow.
Talking about domination.
Okay, well, new world domination by Riso Toure, currently in first with a higher than 20-point lead. But Jiang Xingtian is in a park with a backflip down the rail, followed by a crooked grind down the small rail, rock to fakie, and then a switch front board. This guy was one of the two Chinese that really surprised me yesterday. Let's see if he can do it again. Switch 50-50 down the hubba,
Lots of talent coming from China these days.
Yep, man. So many good skaters out here. It's always been a country of really good skaters, but not too many people knew about them. Kickflip getting away. Still plenty of time to do a trick or maybe two, depending on how quick he is on his feet. The 9 seconds, so it's probably gonna come down to this last trick with a nollie. It's probably a nollie cab backflip attempt. And that is gonna be time for Jiang Xingtian. For third, as you guys see on the screen, he needs a 34.78 for third. I'm gonna say that could do it. Maybe 2 slams. He hit the big rail.
That's not up to us. That is up to
the judges. But yeah,
Danny
He's
Wainwright
gonna be somewhere up there.
and Lou Daniel.
Beautiful backflip. He gapped to the backflip so far, so he didn't have to slide too far like that. Beautiful switch from board in the slow-mo. Then setting up for the switch 50-50. Yeah, perfectly done. It was all good up until that moment. Then the kickflip got away and the nollie cab flip. Oh, it is a 26-24. So currently good enough for 6th place. But you know what? All these guys are getting paid. They're all winning money, so everyone is stoked. The last person to drop in is going to be Gao Qingxiang, also from China, our top placed finisher yesterday. 50 seconds on the clock. He's going to drop in just in a couple seconds. I saw him coming in on an electric scooter today, so he's probably from Shanghai. I'm going to say a hometown guy. A gap to front flip. That is a big fly out. Okay, coming down the big quarter. And a back 3 up. That was a big gap, wasn't it?
That was
just like, he's the only one to skate it that way.
Quite the opener of his run.
Yep. Front board was a little step down. I thought he was going to go for a front feeble or maybe a front blonde. He's probably trying to play it safe because he saw not too many high scores. Missing a hard flip across. Maybe a kickflip. 12 seconds on the clock. Run. I think he's going to call it right here. So we only had 2 perfect runs in the first. Yep. Richard and Willem are the only 2 people sitting in first and second who had perfect runs. And it's all going to come down to the second rounds to see which one of the other guys can do a perfect run to catch up to the first 2.
The judges are looking for consistency. But look at that.
That is a big gap. It was a good landing. He surfed it out. Yeah, I think after the front board, because something happened there, and I don't think he was going for a front board, and then he even skipped on the next trick, so I think that's where something went wrong. So we're waiting for the scores for Qingjiang Gao. And we're gonna go back to the top of the order right after we see the scores. So as you see, up next is Willem Jakesh for his run number 2. Hopefully Willem is okay with the thigh pain.
I mean, we'll find out as soon as
Yep.
Qingjiang Gao's points come in. Then we'll have our preliminary results of the first runs of these 8 men battling it out here on the West Bund. There's actually like tons of skate parks here.
Yeah, so many. There's a new park by Hurricane Parks right next door. So if you, again, if you're a skater or a BMX rider or any other, if you ride anything, just come to the West Bund because FISE Parks just built 2 beautiful permanent parks right next to where we are. So you can, there's a skate plaza and there's a big ass park for BMX.
And also where the North Box is, which was like, you know, the brand activation stand of FISE, like building up to this event. There's also like this skate plaza slash, I think like waterworks kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's really rad as well.
Oh, look at the wind. He's probably trying to tell them, like, I can drop in, like it's the wind gusts.
I mean, he's Czech, he probably can. Oh.
Yeah, like he's like, yeah, I can't do it, man. Like this is way too crazy. They should restart the clock, I think. Look at the wind gust. He's like, nah, I'm calling it. Look,
Is there
it's like Mount Everest weather.
Is there like an official on course who can decide if he gets, let's say, a rerun
I mean,
because of the wind?
Usually, yeah, he gets a rerun. Like he didn't even start the trick, and you can tell. Like, look at his hair. It's like all over the place.
So we'll have to see.
But usually for like the Olympics and the World Skate events, like the World Championships, for example, there's gonna be a technical delegate that's just gonna give you a rerun if there's anything wrong with the course or the weather conditions. So it ultimately comes to the person that just says yes or no.
Okay.
It's not the rider who gets the pick.
Yeah.
All right, for the course, guys, for the course, we are going to let Jake.
Just wait for a couple of seconds until the wind simmers down. And then it's the second shot for, is it Jakes or Jakes?
Jakesh.
Jakesh. And he's dropping
Willem Jakesh is back in with a front feeble down the big tan rail and the front blunt on the down rail. Turning around, so far 10 seconds in. Getting a kickflip front board on the other down rail on the way back. Setting up, let's see where the improvement's gonna come. A back tail. Still 25 seconds for Willem. Probably gonna be a frontside overcrux. Yes. Then 18 seconds on the clock. I'm just gonna say probably a back lip on the big rail. We'll see what Willem has. There's a lot of
Setting up.
Ooh. Yeah, it's way too windy. I think he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna risk my life.
You know, he can keep the energy or the best tricks or the Battle of Shanghai.
I mean, at least, you know what the good thing is for Willem? He already has one perfect round and a decent score.
Yeah.
And if it's windy really bad, then everyone's just going to have to deal with the same conditions from now on. But let's look at the replays. Beautiful frontside feeble, well balanced. Then coming for the kickflip from board. Look at the precision of quick flick, perfectly on the middle of the board. And a really good landing. And the back tail, back to forward.
That was
and a frontside nose grind.
clean.
Yeah, he's a clean skater, definitely. You can tell. It's just like everything is precise. He's got quick feet for the kickflips. Like, there's many ways to do kickflips. I'm usually like a slower flicker for regular. I'm way faster for switch flip. But if you look at his feet, it's just like bang. It's a quick flip. A couple people have that. It makes it so much easier if you flip quick to catch it, and then the trick is the same, while I have to flick him way and then get in the trick. So he's different. Like, his skating, like, feet are really quick. That, like I say, it makes the flip-ins really easy, if you can say easy.
And that's gonna solidify Jakic his second spot right now. But we still have 7 riders that have to ride their second run.
Yeah, you see Willem grayed out. That means he already had 2 of his 2 runs. So whoever you see grayed out, you already know they skated both of their runs and they're gonna be waiting for their best tricks. Next rider up, standing on the main platform, Benji Garcia, a French professional skateboarder, waiting for the judges to let him get in.
He has 50 seconds on that G-Shock clock.
Yeah, look at the hoodie.
Like, even our TV booth is
yeah, Benji's
swaying along to the wind.
Oh, Benji was trying it out, probably. Okay, there we go. Benji gave them the thumbs up, so he's in the park. 50 seconds are starting right now with a front Smith down, and then a frontside nose blunt on the little rail. This is the last chance for Benji to do a clean, perfect run. Front tail across, taking a couple strong pushes with a front blunt in the steep quarter pipe. 30 seconds on the clock. Benji setting up for the nollie crooks across. That's where it went wrong last time. So hopefully he stays on. Still got 20 seconds to go. Getting a tray flip up. 15 seconds. Benji's gonna wait for the last trick of his round, and that's gonna be on the probably on the big rail. No, we're gonna hit the A-frame. Oh! A little slider. That's a half make.
That
He's
was
standing
360 backside.
Back three, yeah. He's a master of back threes. Damn. I mean, it's going to be a better score than the first round. It's just not going to be as good as he wished.
Probably had a bit too much speed with the wind gusts behind him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe he got that little extra push. Look at the beautiful nose blonde.
Oh.
Oh, it's just so nice. I don't know how to do that trick. It's just beautiful.
Tree flip.
Nice
Up
tray,
the Euro
up,
gap.
And then we're going to see the big back three. Yeah, man, I think you're right. He had too much speed. Look how far. He cleared it by like 1.5 meters.
Like he was probably aiming to land just behind the toe plate.
Maybe he wanted to fly to the judges' booth. You never know.
Get me in the first spot.
Yeah, like, where's my scores? At least homies are laughing. There we go. He's close to Wilhelm, actually, with a bail. I think Benji's pretty stoked about the score. He must be. Like 41 with a bail on the big trick. So then the next rider up is going to be Joseph Carpaccio.
Yes.
But this is no Joseph. We're currently looking at the 2 Chinese finalists. But Joseph is the next rider to drop in.
So from Bordeaux, we're going to Le Havre.
Okay, goes to the other side, so he's gonna be starting on the main platform and going down the big section. See the G-Shock clock there, ready for Joseph to drop in.
Let's get the right tunes on.
You're ready whenever.
Okay, let's get this going before it starts raining. Hopefully it won't start raining at all, but let's get it down real quick, you know, just in case. Look at that sky.
As long as we get the results out of the 2 runs,
Yep.
we can use those
Exactly.
for the
We
final
can't
results.
be waiting for that much longer.
Wait,
I think he should just go with simpler tricks. I wish I were there to tell him. But if he's just gonna keep waiting, it's only gonna make it worse. And he's currently in 6th, so that's not helping him. Like, if you're there, you just wanna get it done, do simple tricks, and lend the simple tricks to make it up, like at least be 4th or whatever that is. But like if he was in 1st, I could understand. Like he just like, okay, well, just I don't need to go. But he's in 6th, so he wants to go. He should want to go. Plus, he can do it. He's really good, so he's... If it were me, I'd just go, throw in a couple lip slides and nose blunts, and that's it. That's all you need to do. Okay, Joseph's in. Starting it off with a big nose blunt down the big section. The 10-stair rail and the frontside alley-oop. Quarter pipes setting up for a tray flip across the driveway. 35 seconds to go for Joseph. He is a contender for the podium here in Shanghai. Couple strong pushes and a big frontside air across.
Frontside air over the channel.
So far looking good. Kickflip up.
Catching his hat this time.
Putting the hat back on. 16 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, back
Getting a back tail. Cross bank to bank with a front tail to fakie. That was a little step down from the front 180 switch crooks, which I fully understand because of the weather conditions. Adjusting, and that is gonna be time. Unfortunately, not in time to do the last trick. Maybe better for him with the rain. At least he has a clean round. So that was a good round. Like I said, all you need to do is stay on your board, have the scores, and hope for the best in the best tricks. I think it definitely should make it up to the top 3 so far, because it was the third perfect round of the day. Just results for Wilhelm Jakesh and now Joseph Carpaccio. Got the slow motion 360 flip. Now that big frontside air.
He can keep all that speed and then just
Yeah, it's like a snowboard-sized jump.
put it in the next trick that he has in mind.
What is your preferred way of skating? Like technical skating or big airs or flips? If you had to say, like, what do you appreciate the most?
I mean, when I was a kid watching skate videos, I was a big fan of, you know, like stair sets and a simple grind.
I still love it. I'm guilty of loving that.
Actually, I would have to say a back lip slide.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorites too. Yeah, I love back tails and back lips. When it comes to kick flips, a simple kick flip and a tray flip.
Just to show you how much wind we're having at the event, in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, we had Oh Yeah, our mascot, who's sitting on top of the arena, and he's almost being blown away.
Lifting off.
Yeah, he's gonna fly away.
Fly away to the stratosphere.
Our little seagull.
Okay, next rider up. Currently sitting on 28.21. He definitely looks for an improvement.
But still in the hot seat, Richard Turi.
He's gonna be hard to beat. It's definitely gonna be hard to beat in these conditions. But let's get back to Daniel. Daniel Knudsen is in the park. Gapping off to that backside 50-50. And a kickflip from the small to the big corner. Kickflip from board, that is an improvement compared to the first round. So he definitely knows he needs to do better tricks based on the score.
Getting
And an
into
impossible up.
the flip to grind combinations.
Someone needs to hit the chopsticks too. It's not just Rizzo. And a kickflip, a little power slide, the swerve on the ground. 17 seconds on the clock for Daniel. Backlip. Let's see what the last tricks are gonna be. Setting up for probably the frontside nose grind on the down hubba. And still, a front feeble on the down rail. So that marks another perfect round for Daniel. Did he hit the big section with anything, the big rail? I don't think he did, because he started with a gap 50-50. Okay, well, he didn't hit the big section. At least we see a smile on his face because he knows it's better than the first round. And I appreciate all these people that come to watch the event, even in weather like this. You can tell that the people here in Shanghai want to see extreme sports and the youth coming to perform something for them.
Also, for I think a lot of the crowd, this is the first time seeing an action sports festival such as FISE.
And this venue, let me tell you that this venue is beautiful. You come in and it has a festival vibe, but the festival is like a sports festival kind of thing where there's a lot of vendors. It's just well put together, but then the venues, like we have, how many venues do we have? 4?
We have this park, BMX/roller park, the flatland stage, and the breakdancing stage.
That's in the indoor arena.
That's in the indoor arena. And then there's also like the new permanent park that we use for the amateur and junior categories in BMX.
And all of these places are packed. Look at the audience. Like, there's a couple seats empty, which is probably people who just went to get a drink. But, like, it's packed. Like, it's completely sold out. I wish we had an overview of the whole park, like a drone view, like where we can see the thousands of people that are around here.
We have them with FISE, but I think with the current winds,
it's
that we're not using them.
Maybe they will only fly the drone once because it's gonna be never to be seen again.
I mean, if you start flying, it probably ends up in the east of China.
Yeah, right. Okay, judges are discussing the scores, trying to determine if the perfect round is better than Benji's.
Also, the people from the graphics from Raw Motion sitting there, seeing that all the data comes through, is calculated. Then they enter the score that we will be seeing on the screen.
I like that the judges are taking their time because every score, every point matters. There's a lot of money on the line, and these people flew here from all over the world. So if the judges are paying enough attention, that tells you that they really care about the job and the skaters' well-being, which is important to me because I'm a professional skateboarder myself. So the fact that I see these judges discuss it and go step by step tells me a lot, and I really like that. I appreciate it.
Also, when they press the button and enter the scores, there's no way of
coming back. Yeah, no coming back, and it can make a lot of sad people. Trying to avoid that here for sure. So after Daniel, we're gonna be coming to Panja J, PJ, Chinese professional skater. Score is in, currently good enough for 3rd. So the next rider we have is, like I said, PJ. Only 4 riders to go. First of them qualifying 4th yesterday out of probably 30 plus skaters in the qualifications, qualifying fourth, coming a long way. He still looks for a single trick to land, because in the first round we saw PJ try 3 really big tricks, but unfortunately that didn't come together. So PJ is in. Let's see how this goes. Oh no! Kickflip from board, getting away from him. He's gonna give it another go.
He's putting in
Okay, just
all
keep
the
going,
chips on the
PJ.
table.
Just do a couple tricks, man. From board. Still 35 seconds to go. Plenty of time to do a bunch of tricks.
Sometimes it's better to get that safe run in.
Exactly.
At least get some
I think
points.
Yeah, I think that's it. He's not feeling it now. Yeah, let's get that crowd pleaser. Gonna try to do that 360 flip.
All right, 10
And there we go.
seconds.
PJ's on 10 seconds. Ooh, okay. It just takes so little and everything is gone. He's such a good skater. He competed in all the Olympic qualifiers. He was at the World Championships in Rome, and I've seen him do really, really well. Fortunately, this is not the day for PJ. And next rider up is gonna be the current leader, qualifying third with 1 bail yesterday, coming from Košice, Slovakia. Oh man, Riso Ture. He's currently sitting on the 64.36 score. I mean, look at that rain. Riso, just take it easy.
Only 2 more riders
Yep, after
that
him.
can get him out of that hot seat.
Yep.
But for now, he's sitting comfortable.
Yep. With a 20+ point lead. That's gonna be a hard one to catch up to. Okay, Riso setting up. That heel flip position, he's like, yeah, wind is too much. You could tell by the way his shirt was flying all over the place. And you can, like, if you guys see,
The back panels as well.
yeah, it's really flying. Just wait it out, Riso. You don't have to rush it now. Yeah, these wind gusts come in really dangerous for these skaters, because these obstacles are not very small. Like I said, it's a 10 rail. It is pretty stretched, so it's long. And you have to, like, fully commit to do these tricks. Hopefully Riso resets and there's gonna be no wind gusts for him. Yeah, don't rush it. As soon as you drop in, there's no coming back, so just take your time. Or you know what, or just call it a day. You're sitting in first. Oh, he's like, let's go.
Let's get it.
It's still the same, but let's go. He just doesn't like to wait. Ah, okay. Call it. Yeah, he's like,
Is he asking for a...
I don't know what he's trying to
rerun?
say. He's like, yeah, I'm good. No, I don't think he's going to be asking for a rerun. Unless they offer it to him, I don't think he does that.
He's calling it.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's good. He'll have to trust on that.
Let me... He said, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's okay. I don't care. I'm just listening to... He's like, yeah, the wind was blowing and I just let it go. It's okay. Well, that's what he said. He's comfortably in first. There's only 2 people that can take him away from the driver's seat now. So the worst he can be after these rounds is in third. And that's pretty unlikely with the wind gusts.
How does Richard perform in the best tricks?
I don't want to jinx it. I'll tell you after the contest. How about that? Okay. I can give you a big breakdown because I plan his best tricks. I know
For
I know the
Richard to
success
know,
rates.
For Richard to know, for us to find out.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have Tian.
I'm just gonna say
dropping
usually
in.
muscle memory. Okay, Jiang Tian in with the back lip and a crooked grind down, followed by the switched frontside board slide on the down rail. He's gonna be setting up for the switch 50-50 just like he did in the first round. And this is where it went wrong in round number 1. Let's see if Jiang Tian can do it. 20 seconds to go, a little halfway through. There we go with a kickflip. Oh,
Keeping
and a
that
back
speed.
180. I saw him do a backside kickflip up yesterday, so because of the wind, he's probably stepping it down a little. Oh, that was a heavy slam on Manoli cab back lip. And I think that is gonna be time for Jiang Tian. Definitely a better run. it will be an improvement from the score we saw in run number 1. So coming down to the last rider of the day after the Jiangxing 10's scores are gonna come in is gonna be Gao Qingxiang from China, which is person shown in the white shirt just now. But let's look at the replays. Gapping to that back lip. We're gonna see that crooked grind on that down rail. Look at the length of the rail. It's definitely not a small rail. If you guys are looking, just look at the length of the grinds and slides. Beautiful switch 50-50. And now that kickflip, watch the catch. Boom, flick, catch. It was a really nice flick. And now that slow-mo backside 180 through the wind gusts. Yeah, he was laughing. He was like, yeah, that was supposed to be a backside flip. Score is in 36.69, currently good enough for 6th place. The last person to drop in our lines section is gonna be yesterday's top place qualifier, Gao Qingxiang from China. Waiting for the heads up. And as soon as he gets the go, there we are. 50 seconds on the clock. The last skater is in the park. Gapping to the front lip. Little surfing on the way out. Getting a lot of speed. Coming up the Euro gap with a back 3. Okay. 32 seconds to go. To call it a day for the runs. Front board on the big rail. And a frontside blend slide. See, this is where it went wrong in run number 1. Like he just gave up on the trick. 19 seconds.
15 seconds.
Setting up for the big driveway. Probably going for. Oh! Just barely clipped. Ooh. Man, this is the worst. When this happens and you don't expect it. I once got a really bad injury from this. I'm not gonna go into details, but same thing happened to me. I clipped, flew to the bottom, shot me straight to the hospital for the next 2 weeks. So, oh, I feel sorry for Guangxing Gao.
But he's back up again.
Yeah, he's back up, he's good.
So let's see that big gap to front side, board side?
No, it's a front lip. Gap to front lip. He goes over the rail. And the back 3, boom, beautiful. And then that front board, look at the perfection. Just a little style on that slide. And then this is the clip, look. Perfect catch. Oh, I think he didn't clip. He just thought he will. So he leaned forward, but he leaned a little too far. Okay, we're still in there. So the score for the second round is going to be 34.07. Currently good enough for 7th place. So if you guys see, we got Riso Turi in first with a 22-point lead over Wilhelm Jakeš and Daniel Knudsen.
But these are the standings that we will take into the best tricks.
This is the 1/3 of what we are going to be looking at. So runs are done. And there's going to be a lot that's going to be happening in just a couple of minutes after these guys are going to have their practice. And we're going to come to the 5 best tricks for each skater. Out of the 5 tricks, 2 of their best scores are going to count. And these 3 scores, including 1 of the best rounds, are going to make up the score. Okay, we're looking at the replays right now. We got Wilhelm Jakeš. We got Wilhelm Jakeš. Okay, we're back in the skate park, and we have a little change in the format. We are going to see only 3 best tricks, and 2 of the best tricks are gonna count because of the weather conditions. We will see it a little different. I just got the news from the production, and you guys. So, just to explain everything correctly, we probably gonna see a little less difficult tricks because 2 out of 3 are gonna count, not 2 out of 5, which is the usual format.
Yeah, because in Montpellier they had 5 tries. Now it's going to be 3.
Yeah, but we had the choice of cutting it completely or giving them 3 instead of 5, and I think it came down to the riders' decision because we saw the riders gather by the judges. So I think they had the discussion, and the judges picked this format over just running with the 2 lines. It could be drizzling out there. We're unfortunately not on the course, but that's that's what we're facing. And you guys are gonna see 3 best tricks by the riders, and 2 best tricks are gonna count. You guys are just watching the practice before the best tricks start.
So on which obstacle do you see the most action unfold?
Definitely has to be on the big rail, or the fatty to flatty all the way down the stairs. Some people are gonna try to hit the gap to rail, what we saw the Chinese homie do, the gap to lip. This changes a lot. Like, it might sound like a little change, but when you come into this as the skater and you're preparing for something, you make the game plan and you usually stick to the plan. So there's no last minute changes. And when there are last minute changes, you basically have to reshuffle and reorganize everything, and that can mess with a lot of people's ability to adjust to it. It's gonna be interesting to see, at least. So if nothing else, we're definitely gonna see a lot of changes in the strategy. So I know Riso's strategy for the best tricks. I have no idea what he's gonna do because unfortunately I'm not there with him now, and we can't discuss it. But it's definitely going to be different because of the risk factor that he's putting in. Okay, we're sticking to the order from before the rounds. So Willem, even though he is in second, he is going to be the first person to drop in because he qualified 8th. So Willem currently sitting in second place with a score of 42.05, a slim lead over the third. I think third is Joseph Garbaccio, maybe, with a 42.
Yeah. So there is a slim chance that Jakesh will jump over the position.
Okay, we still see trick 1 out of 5 on the screen. I don't know if that is changed now, but the last word I got is we got 3 tricks. So let's stick to that. Okay, Willem is in the park. Setting up for... Oh, he goes for the small rail now. Oh, kickflip, backflip to fakie. He's like... I never see him do it to fakie. Hey, he's like, why?
Yeah.
Why and how?
Like, even he is
It's
impressed.
definitely better than taking it back to forward. Let me tell you that. Well, let's watch it. Kickflip, backflip. I think it slid. Oh, it slid too much, but look.
Yeah, but that back foot...
Yeah, that's why he went to fakie. Watch it. Oh, man.
That fakie was not planned.
Oh, definitely not. Let me tell you that. He's probably like, okay, I'll take it. I'll do it.
But it does make it more technical.
It makes it so much better. It's just like way less people do that. He's like, okay, well, sometimes accidents happen for the good of it. Let's see what the score...
As Bob Ross once said, we don't make faults, we make happy mistakes.
Happy mistakes. That was definitely a happy mistake for sure for Milan. Okay, that is exciting. Kickflip, backflip to fakie to start it off. That is a great way to start the best tricks. Dylan patiently waiting for the score. Again, this is setting up the scale, and the score is 52.11. He's like, I'll take it. He doesn't know what that means because he's the only one that's landed a trick so far, but yep. Reggie Garcia gonna be the next rider dropping in. Looks like Benji is setting up to hit the quarter pipe. Oh no, he's going across with a late shove it across the long driveway. Yeah, these guys are definitely playing it a little safer. It's still a 4-meter long driveway, and a late shove it is a risky game there. So Benji's score is going to be coming in. Let's watch it. You have to ollie, then hold the ollie, reshuffle your feet, and then, oh, he almost landed in primo. Watch that. He almost lands primo. Just watch the landing.
So
That was so close to take a really bad slam.
So Primo is landing the board sideways.
Sideways on your wheels, and that hurts. That always hurts a lot. Especially coming down a bank. Okay. Benji and Willem are sharing the room in the hotel, so all these guys are homies that travel around and skate the similar or same contests year long, so they know each other. That's one of the things that I really like about the extreme sports is the camaraderie that we have, because when I went to the Olympics, all the other sports seemed super tense. Nobody wanted the other participants to do well, and then skateboarding, just people are hugging and shaking their hands. That is my favorite thing to see, because these guys actually wish well for the other dudes and girls and women. It's just, yeah, it's really refreshing to see that they're still friends in sports.
It's more about, you know, progression of the sport than the individual athlete.
It's just progression of the sport, and then just the thing that these guys are literally spending time together and they're friends.
Traveling the world.
Yeah, having friends goes a long way, let me tell you that. Gap to backflip for Joseph. I told you he can fly. This guy can fly. Let's watch the replay. Gapping the 4-meter gap to a backside lip slide, going over the rail with his back foot. Just making sure the wind gusts don't affect him, so he's not flipping his board.
Making sure that board sticks to his feet.
Exactly. Expecting a decent score because not too many people hit that obstacle. Did his head just fly away? Okay, 58. So currently in first, so taking a 5-point lead. With some smile on the face. Joseph, you're sitting in first currently. The next rider is going to be Daniel Knudsen, Norwegian skateboarder. Just getting ready to do it. Okay, there we go. Daniel's in the spotlight.
All right, next up, out of Norway, Daniel Knudsen.
Probably.
I wonder what he's going to hit. I have no idea. It's going to be a nice surprise. Oh, gap to front 50? Was that the trick?
Might have been the
I
safe
think he
option.
wanted to... I'm going to say he wanted to kickflip, but then something happened there. Still going to be a score.
Yeah.
Anything's better than 0.
I mean, looking back at Montpellier, you better have a safe trick than no tricks.
Yeah, you gotta have 3 scores on that board. Otherwise, your chances of making the podium are close to 0. They're never 0, but they're really close. Okay, Rizzo setting up. Okay, I guess I know the trick that he's gonna try to do. Could it be Rizzo? No, it's gonna be Jianje Pan. PJ coming out of China, lives in the south of China, and he is going to be the next rider up. Okay, the score is in. It's gonna be a 16.11. That is a really low score, but like you said, it is better than nothing.
Still has 2 more tries.
Okay, we're back. PJ in that white hat, getting ready to drop in. Trying to get a redemption for his rounds. This is the trick number 1 out of 3. That's exactly how he wanted to start his run, and now it works. Okay, it's gonna be a really high score because he's the first one in the best tricks that hit the rail with a flipping trick on the rail.
That will definitely up PJ's score.
Beautiful kickflip from board. Look how he knew he's landing it as he was sliding on the rail. Look at his face, like he's already starting to look away. He knew. Like it's funny to see, like, you know when it's happening. The scores coming in, and it's a 66.19, the highest score of the best trick section so far. And he's back in the game, currently in 4th.
With the 69.69 score.
That is a cool score, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, next rider up, the man of the hour.
Like, even
Riso.
without a best trick.
Yeah, he's up there without the best trick so far. That's what a 22-point lead after the runs is giving you. So Riso is ready for the trick. Attempt number 1 out of 3. Setting up, coming for the down rail. And getting a big spin heel flip board slide. There we go. That is the most technical you can get when you're flipping your board into a handrail.
Shaking his fist as he lands, like, yeah, I got this. He is on top of the game.
Yeah,
Number 5 from the Olympics, the number 6 from the World Championships.
Look at the precision. Just like perfectly in. Just such a nice move. I have never landed this trick in my life, and I skate with him every day. Okay, 77.04. Okay, now we're talking. It is a 40-point lead now. Okay, well, these guys are gonna have a tough time catching up.
I mean, we're gonna need that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 combination action.
Yeah, right. Like
if you want to jump on
20-minute
top.
long trick. Like a long combo. Manual over the promenade.
Like manual to grind to manual to grind. Flip trick grind.
Stacking up these little points. Ooh, a fatty to flatty. Kickflip all the way to flat. These long stairs and still cleared it by at least a meter. Jiangxing 10. Let's watch the replay. That was a great execution of the kickflip.
The height,
Yeah,
the length of that jump.
The back foot catch. Look at the back foot. Boom, on the board already.
Oh, yeah.
Just waiting. It was beautiful. It's going to be another high score. First person to hit the stairs. And it's a 62.99. From 7th to 3rd? That's not bad at all.
That's quite a good jump.
Yep. Definitely shaking up those cards. Well, I mean, he was a 2nd place finisher yesterday. That tells you the skills that he has.
And Gao, he finished in 1st yesterday, but
Yes,
now it's
sir.
still sitting in the 8th and last spot, unfortunately.
Coming from 1st to last, that's a tough spot to be. Waiting for the wind to go away. So he's definitely coming for the big section, you can tell. I mean, these guys already know they need to catch up to high score, so they have to go all in. It's unfortunate because they don't have too much room to play with.
Ooh.
I don't think this counts as an attempt. I'm gonna say he never popped, so even though he was already mid-trick, I think he gets a new try. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's fair. He didn't pop. If he popped, I wouldn't give him a new try, but this is fair. Like, I'm happy they gave him a new try. Plus, I want to see what he does.
Probably was wind related.
Yeah.
Got spooked by the wind.
Oh, there's any wind? Okay, let's see. He's coming back.
Oh.
Okay, hard flip all the way to flat. That's a contender for the high score of the best tricks. Could be in the 80s. So that was it. That was the last skater of best tricks round number 1. So in just a couple seconds, we're gonna go back to the top of the order. You see the 0 score there, but let's watch the replay first. Nice catch. Ooh, okay. That was a good catch. Watch it. That was really cool. Let me see it go down for sure.
I can see him land that.
Oh, he's checking Instagram in the meantime? What is happening out there, man?
He was looking up a tutorial on how to do hard flips.
Oh, tutorials, okay.
Hey Reddit, I can't land my hard flip.
It's probably
What
on
should I do?
YouTube. Yeah. What happened on the landing? Maybe asking AI.
He was checking the Thomas Winter YouTube section.
Okay, well, the skate school. I did a bunch of skate schools, bro. Okay, let's go to the back of the starting list. Wilhelm Jakesh with trick number 2, currently in 5th place. He was sitting in 2nd after the runs. Actually surprised because the kickflip backflip to fakie was one of the most difficult tricks of the best tricks that I saw. Okay, let's go. So Wilhelm is gonna go for the hubba. It's probably windy. Taking another round.
He's coming back.
He's coming back for the kickflip back tail. Okay, that was really nice. That is gonna be a high score. Definitely higher than the kickflip backflip. That is for sure. That is a tall hubba. Let's see how high it can get. The most important thing is he has the 3 scores, more than anything else. And that was really good. Look at the slow motion.
A good wide stance.
Like, you
as
can tell
lands
he
the
enjoyed
lip.
the landing. Watch him on the landing. He's like, okay. He's like, okay, it's done. He's got that coffee spot hat on. That's one of his biggest sponsors.
Wait, he has a coffee sponsor?
Yeah, he has a coffee sponsor. It's a dream come true, bro. He's got unlimited free coffee for life. How good is that?
This is every adult's dream.
That's my dream. And Rizos, he drinks like 7 espressos a day. At least. I say 7, but that is the least he does. Okay, Wilhelm's still waiting for the scores. I hope these judges are discussing how high are they gonna score this, because it needs to be high. He's the only person that can kickflip. Well, more people can, but no one even attempted it from the field. So that needs to be taken into account and consideration. Okay, well, the judges definitely thought different. Yeah, I see Wilhelm being confused too.
So that second trick got him onto the first place, but all the other riders have to land a second trick as well.
All right, next up, Benjamin Garcia out of Bordeaux,
The next
France.
rider up is going to be Benji Garcia with trick attempt number 2. Ooh. And a back 3 across. I mean, that's a long driveway to go across. So,
But then
let's
doing
see the
it,
scores. It's definitely less risky than doing a kickflip back tail on the hubba.
still the travel that you need.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm not downplaying the trick. I really respect back 3s over long driveways, and Benji is a master at doing that. I'm just saying there's way less risk, but it's a bigger obstacle.
It's the technicality versus the big and burly jumps.
Yeah. Okay, so he's
57.
taken a 10-point lead over Wilhelm with 152. Funny how Riso is at 141 sitting there with still a trick to go.
France, Joseph Camacho.
Oh, look at the dark sky.
I mean, the more riding we can do in this contest, the more data, the more points we
Exactly.
have
Exactly.
to determine who's going to be the winner of this.
Joseph's in. And, okay. I don't know if he wants to keep that because it was both hands down, but it is a difficult. I wouldn't want to do it. 100% not. No.
So we
You
saw
would not see me do that trick on the mellow rail for sure.
a 360.
I mean, he's definitely. You know what? He's definitely taking it because they only got 3 attempts. So it can only get better for him. Maybe not the score he's going to be looking for, but it's still going to be a really high score. It's a super technical trick on a big rail.
The spin to grind combination. The 360 backside.
Yeah, back 270 lip because he goes 270. If you look like he goes to a lip slide.
Oh yeah, 270, yeah.
And then lands. And here is on the landing. It could be a little wet. I don't know. I don't see if it's raining or not, but it like the landing was kind of perfect. So something slid there. Okay.
Horse is still dry.
Horse is dry.
As long as it's dry.
Oh, we got
it's not
some.
too windy.
We got a little bit of smile on the face again. No, no smile.
He's not happy with his trick.
I don't know. I would. I'd be screaming and jumping all over the place if I back 270 lip that rail.
So he's checking the big screen. And with Joseph, we're gonna find out the points of that second best trick attempt.
We're still waiting up for the scores, and scores are in, and it is a really high one, 68.94. That is the second best score. Come on, Joseph, give us a smile. It is a high score, and you are in the lead.
So Daniel Knudsen went for the backside 50 on his first trick. He was looking to flip into it.
Oh. Okay, Daniel, a nose blunt. That is, it's difficult to do on the ledges, but considering Wilhelm got a 48 for a kickflip back tail, it can probably only do like a 30. I don't know. I gotta say I do disagree with the kickflip back tail score, but it's not me to say. This is just my personal preference or opinion.
So let's see, he pops up.
Yeah, it's perfect lock. Like this is the way you want to do it on a hubba for sure. Like you need to lock the nose in and the wheels. Like look, the nose goes under the hubba, so he slides right on the side, on the tip of that ledge. Yeah, 28.44. So they're really scoring that hubba very, very low.
The judges want more gaps, more speed.
Okay, that's 69.69 score for PJ. Could change very soon because PJ is about to drop in for the second attempt of his best tricks. PJ's in the park. Oh, missing the 360 flip. It was almost there. Like he had it under his feet, but it didn't completely turn. It didn't do the full 360 that he needed the board to do.
So we still have 3 more riders.
So we got 3 more riders, and then another round of attempts. So the next rider is going to be Riso, current leader. No, not a current leader, but currently in the top 3, and still 2 tricks to do for Riso. So this is trick number 2 for Richard Turi. And that is going to be a heel flip nose slide, and that's it. I think just by that score, it's going to be a mid 40, but I don't think anyone can catch up unless they get 100 plus.
No, because he
already had such a big lead with the 2 tricks in the beginning. So Riso knew he didn't have to go big. At that point, like it's almost like a victory lap.
He went
You
for
just like need to, yeah, just
that
smart.
first impression in the first run.
He's been skating the big events for 15 years, so he skated thousands of them, and if he just did the math, which he definitely did, then he decided very smart to do the heel flip nose slide. Beautiful, perfect execution of the trick. The Karyuma shirt and shoes. Okay, look at the replay. Scores coming in. It's a 37. Okay, well. That was a really low score on that ledge. So he still has a 9-pour lead over Joseph, which is not the highest lead.
Alright, everybody else go to the boards.
And then we got Jiang Xingtian in the park, trying to backside flip across the driveway. Unfortunately getting away from him, so Jiang Xingtian's gonna keep the scores that he currently has, which is a 99.68, closing out on that 100 score. Currently in 5th, just below Wilhelm Jakesh, who is sitting on 142. The last person to drop in is about to do so in a couple seconds. That's gonna be Qingsang Dao. And Qingsang is getting ready. Probably are facing a little weather break.
We'll have to see and find out later on.
I think because there's no reason for him to wait unless he has the news from the production. So what do you think so far about the best tricks? Like, can you tell that the guys are going for easier tricks, or is the level still up to the standard that you would expect?
It is still out there. I mean, some of the riders with the lower scores, let's say, do a safe trick first.
Yeah,
from what I see. But like riders like Richard Jury, like they're just going all in. It's all chipped on the table.
I mean, there's a really thin line between playing it smart and not doing enough. So you just have to pick really wise. Yeah, he's like, man, it's blowing wind. I can't go. Homie's hair, look, he's just flying. Okay, Qingsang Dao is about to drop in. Trick number 2 out of 3. Oh, cleared it by so far. He doesn't even have to go so fast. Like, it's probably gonna be way easier for him if he goes a little slower. So that is trick number 2 with a 0. So he cannot, unfortunately, get 3 scores on the board. He can still definitely get in the hundreds, which would currently mean 5th place. Unfortunately, not better than that, because that's mathematically impossible. Oh, beautiful catch. I really hope he's gonna land it in the attempt number 3. Maybe for the high score of the day. We're gonna go back to the top of the order for Wilhelm Jakesh's 3rd and final try in the best trick section. Okay, Wilhelm is on the main platform. Let's see if he hits the big rail. Just take your time, Wilhelm. Concentrate and do what you do best. Okay. Just waiting for the thumbs up from the production. I'm setting up. Just hyping himself up. And Wilhelm's dropping in. Wind. It's probably way too windy out there for these guys to be doing the difficult tricks. So Wilhelm needs an 84 for first. Is that gonna... Unfortunately not doing it this time. Locked into the kickflip from the board, but considering he's been struggling with injury, like look at him just wobbling around.
He's been limping the whole contest.
Yeah. He hurt himself street skating a couple of days ago, so it's just been getting a little worse by the day instead of getting better. So fourth for Willem is the best he can do here in Shanghai.
Let's hope he's not riding the battle tomorrow.
He's definitely gonna be in the battle, but the format is gonna be interesting because I think first goes with fifth, second goes with sixth, or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's like a certain way to put these guys together.
Yeah.
And then you just advance as it goes.
Yeah,
These
then-
guys are gonna be battling it out. Oh, okay.
Benjamin Garcia switching it up.
Yeah, he was trying to go half cab, no slide to back tail, probably back to fakie. So Benji with that 152, staying in third currently. And then the next rider up will be Joseph Garbaccio. Okay, we're looking at the park. Joseph is getting ready, eyeing the big rail. So let's see what he is trying to go for.
Joseph Garbaccio looking to cut up the park like it's Carpaccio.
Okay, Joseph is in. And setting up. Oh, okay, unfortunately not getting it. And he was trying to crooked grind a nollie flip. That would be a high score, possibly in the 90s. Which is exactly, he just needed a 9. Like +9. So anything above a 67 would have brought him to first. I think the smart play here was just do something a little easier to get in first and then hope for Rizzo to bail. But now at least we're gonna watch Rizzo turret on a victory lap. So then I don't think mathematically it is possible for anyone else to surpass Rizzo at this stage of the contest.
I don't see that happening.
Yep. But next rider up is gonna be Daniel Knudsen, currently in 6th. And Daniel needs a 99.22 for second. I don't think that's very likely to happen. But a kickflip to flat is definitely going to be a higher score than whatever he was getting up until now. Okay, throw in a score.
I'm not really the person to make a guess, but I think somewhere in the 40s, close to 50.
I'd say maybe higher than that. It was the big gap.
It was a fatty to flatty.
Yeah, not too many people skated. It's windy. It was perfect. I'd say, yeah, about 50. 62. Okay. Coming to 5th. At least any place is giving you extra prize money. So coming from 7th to 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the judges
Okay.
are really looking for the big gaps.
Yeah, they definitely are. So PJ, if he lands this tray flip, then it's going to be a really high score. Oh, damn. That was so close. He
Poor
overturned,
PJ.
like over-rotated that
But he's doing it for the
tray
home
flip.
crowd.
Yep. He's the hometown hero for China. Not only hometown, but home country hero.
He's getting the claps. He's getting the cheers.
He should just go up there and do one for the crowd. That's what I would do. If I were from China and doing it for the people here, I'd probably try another. Look, perfect. That catch was really good. Just got away last second. Okay, we have the current leader and the winner of FISE Shanghai 2024 Skateboarding Pro event coming for a victory lap.
I mean, it can be an easy victory lap or it can be another
I
huge
hope-
impression.
I just hope he does something cool. He's probably gonna hit a heel flip front flip. Yeah, there we go, heel flip front flip. It's what is easy for Rizzo is definitely not easy for many other people on this planet. So it's gonna be a score improvement.
He's the 1% of skateboarders.
Can he hit the 200 though? A perfect execution on the heel flip front lip.
Stomping down the
I
wheels,
always like
sticking.
when people land a trick on the victory lap. They just don't throw it away, just still do it. Even though they know they won,
Yeah.
it's just really nice to see people try. Look at that smile. He's like, oh, euro, euro, euros come to my account. Money, money, money. That's really cool. Yeah, flexing that Karyuma shirt. And clackers, do you know that's his brand? Him and his brother own the brand. It's a brand from Slovakia. There we go. It's a 205. So we have the 200 on the board.
But now,
Still 2 people to go, and they can shake up the leaderboard at least a little bit.
so
Rider number 1 of the 2, Jiang Xingtian, is in the park. He's gonna try to take it across with a backside flip. Unfortunately, not happening this time. Still, I've never seen him at any FISE event, and making finals in the international here, like, it was a really tough cut to make it to the finals. 6th place is a good place to be. Plus, it gives him a seat in the battle tomorrow, which I think has like a 15 or 20,000 euro prize money. Like big money in that battle tomorrow.
if you want to talk prize money, I have another announcement to make later on.
Ooh, okay. Bring it. I love that.
But first,
Qingxiang Gao is in the park. Let me see the hard flip. Okay. No fatty to flatty today.
once more for a crowd. I want to see that hard flip.
Go up there.
And yeah, so he didn't stick any landing
Yeah.
of all those hard flips attempts, unfortunately. But still, what an effort.
Yeah, it takes
being in this
dedication
final.
to go all the way to the flat, you know, like down that big set. I mean, if these guys had 5 tries, it would have been a whole different game. Like,
Well,
I say it's still light out there. Like, give these guys 2 more shots.
well, who knows? Like, hopefully we'll be back in Shanghai one day.
I hope so. I really hope so. I love coming to Shanghai. Not only Shanghai, I love coming to China, and FISE brings me here quite often. Okay, there we go. We have the final standings. We got Riso Ture from Slovakia finishing first and being the champion of FISE in here in Shanghai, followed by Joseph Carpaccio from France and Benjamin Garcia, another Frenchman. Then Willem Jakesh from Czech Republic in 4th. Daniel Knudsen in 5th, coming from Norway, and then 3 Chinese guys, Jiang Xingtian, Jian Jiepan, and Qingxiang Gao finishing in 6th, 7th, and 8th.
So let's take a look at all the action that happened here on the course in Shanghai. So Thomas, we just wrapped up this finals. Tomorrow we'll have the Battle of Shanghai going on, but I have something else up our sleeve.
What is it?
Well,
Bring the news.
in a couple of months we'll be heading to Macau for the FISE Battle of the Champions. Let's find out.
Battle of the Champions. This is the big show. Are you ready to meet these riders? We've invited the best riders. It's not an anyone can enter contest.
It all comes down to this moment. Real question right now, who is on top?
So yeah, in March we're heading to Macau, another big city here in China, the entertainment center of China, by the way, and where we will invite some of the best skateboarders. So that is for March, but first we're gonna honor the winners of this competition.
All right, guys, we are gonna do the awards right now. So are the skaters on site? For third place is Benjamin Garcia. Round of applause. Steve Siming, Benjamin Garcia.
Thank you.
All right, LV Andre Benoit is going to be giving our third prize winner this prize.
So that's our big boss, Hervé André Benoit, the big boss of FISE.
All right,
Yeah, I like how they're
second
coming to
place,
give out the prizes to
Joseph
the people. It
Garbaccio.
just gives it a meaning.
Second place. Just coming off of the quarter pipe.
Okay,
Another
is he gonna
Frenchie.
give us a smile?
All right, and we're
Second
going to have
place.
the deputy
Second place
manager
is
of
really
West
good.
Fund, chairman of West Fund Cultural, Ten Anda, give Joseph his prize.
给我们颁奖的是西岸集团副总经理、西岸文化董事长陈安达先生。
Oh, let's get that round of applause, make some noise. 掌声送给他。
Yeah, and then we have the two Olympic finalists in the first and second place.
All right.
Just like we
and
said, the
first
biggest
place
favorites.
Of FISE World Series Tour Stop Shanghai Men's Pro Skateboarding goes to Richard Turing.
So after FISE 2018 in Chengdu,
All right,
he's
we're
back
done with the
on
awards.
top of the podium. The winner of this FISE World Series Shanghai Skateboard Street Contest from Slovakia, Richard Turing. And people, you should see Thomas here in the studio right now as a proud dad. Like, he's taking pictures of our television.
Yeah, I'm taking pictures of the TV that we have here. Okay, there we go. Remember in the beginning when we said these three guys were the favorites, so it really played out that way? And I would even say in this particular order, I would just say it is the exact way that I would predict.
And
The sky is clearing up.
finally.
Finally,
We're getting some good weather, some good vibes.
You know what, guys? Come over tomorrow. It's gonna be a great day.
So yeah, tomorrow it's gonna be the skateboard battles with these guys, our finalists, going
So-
head to head, and then we also have the finals of BMX Flatland.
All right, Richard.
We still have some BMX freestyle park action going on in the men's category as well, and then inside the big dome here, the breaking finals. So we're gonna listen to
All
our
right.
winner.
So Richard, first place Men's Pro Street. How you feeling right now? And what's your plan for the big prize money? 10,000 euros. That's huge.
I'm feeling amazing. The weather was really crazy today. It was like challenging with the wind, but I'm really happy. First day I'm feeling so bad in the park because jet lag, but I made it first somehow.
Awesome. That was what makes you a super pro right there. Getting out of the plane, coming straight to the course, a little bit of warm up, even dealing with the weather, and then boom, still getting that first place. Amazing. So, are you looking forward to the next FISE?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm so happy. I'm like 31 years old, getting older, but I'm still happy to skate with all the guys and keep it going.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Richard.
So Richard is going back to Slovakia with 4,000 euros. But tomorrow, there's another contest going on. It's going to be the skateboard battle with another beautiful prize purse, and in first place gets 10,000 euros.
Yeah, that's actually 2 times bigger than today.
Okay, we're going to stop this live stream right here. Thank you, Thomas, for being here. We'll be back tomorrow.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.